rolling equity leasing.
I am
REL.
At REL, they're not just a leasing company.
We like to work with REL because
They seem to really care about us.
I am REL.
I am REL.
working with REL, it's a national company with a small town feel. REL.
REL.
I am REL.
I am REL.
I am REL.
We feel like we're working with friends. It's like you're having a beer with your buddy.
We are REL.
Hi, everybody. John Haldi here, and I've got Tim Steiner with me. Tim, welcome.
Thank you.
Those of you who don't know, Tim is a guru about maintenance on all things truck love, and he is the director of REL Solutions, which is the maintenance arm and the fleet management arm for all of the trucks under his umbrella. Tim, I've got a question that came to me from a viewer, and I wanted to throw it at you to get your opinion.
Sure.
How best to navigate dealing with repairs and tow costs when the truck is far from home?
Yes. So there's two main categories we kind of want to break this into. One, is it warranty? Two, is it not warranty? Right? If it's warranty, you're going to have a lot of recourse through the OEM. The tow should be covered so long as it's due to a warrantable failure. And then the process should get handled through the OEM in a very clean process, right? They know what's covered. They know what your cost is going to be. They know how to add the tow to the invoice. And that becomes a real easy, piece. The only way it gets complicated is if you run into a troublesome dealership who will attempt to push the repair out of warranty. It's very, very good to have a strong understanding of your warranty. There's different layers to that, and make sure that you understand the primary failed portions of the warranty so that you can have an appropriate dialogue with the dealership. Outside of that, the warranty piece should go relatively smooth so long as you don't run into any, back ordered parts. The outside of warranty piece is where you have to be extraordinarily cautious because that's where you're exposed financially, right? You're going to have to pay for the tow. You're going to have to pay the vendor. You're going to have to pay them diagnostic fees if it's not a very clean and out front obvious repair. There's going to be a lot of different pieces with that, and their willingness to cut you a deal when you don't really work with them and you're probably not going to come back to them is going to be a little bit difficult to navigate. So I would strongly caution you to break this into two pieces: understand your warranty and being able to administer that on the road, and then knowing where and what you can actually get fixed at larger vendors. We had talked in a different video about partnering with national vendors. You want to understand where their repair limits lie. If you can use them, all the better, because they have a national profile of your different visits, your PMs that you have on track. But if you have to use a smaller repair shop for a more in-depth repair than some of these national brands can cover, you want to be cautious and you want to look at the reviews and some of the comments that vendor has on the page.
But okay, let me bring it back to earth because all that makes sense in theory. I'm sitting in Atlanta. I've got a truck at 3 a.m. in Denver that's got a breakdown, or 60 miles outside of Denver. Maybe it's warranty, maybe it's not. I don't know my warranty well enough. Where do I begin? I mean, is there a hotline to call on these things? Is there a network? I don't want to call you at 3 a.m., although I have your cell phone.
Right. There are, there's different programs that you can be part of. There's national people that help you, such as a FleetNet or something like that, that will go ahead and put you into their system and help handle their breakdown. It's pretty expensive to kind of go that route through these third-party servicers in that regard, but they will actually help you if you don't have the knowledge. They'll help protect you in certain ways and stop you from getting in depth with bad vendors, right? They have, gone through vendor listings, different things like that you can use. If you are a more independent person and your knowledge is not quite there, but you do want to handle this yourself, there's websites that will give you vendors and then industry reporting of the grade of the vendor in there too that you can find. We're trying to stay agnostic, so I'm not going to give any particular websites, but there are these different types of services out there. If you're part of a lease, I would strongly recommend you reach out to your leasing company. They might have different programs available for you.
Now, what about, because I've heard anecdotal stories, and I'm totally making this up, so I'm going to pick somebody as an example, but I have a Volvo truck that's broken down, and in Atlanta, I love my Volvo dealer. He gets me in and out quick. I tell whoever tow it to the Volvo dealer because it's warranty work, and then I find out what should have been a 1-day turnaround. That dealer's known for being 2 weeks behind, and my truck is trapped for 2 weeks. Is that something
Yes.
that happens?
Unfortunately, it happens quite a bit. I generally tell people that they need to call ahead of time. That's one of the things that, these services do for you. That's one of the things that my department does is they check lead times. They see who's all available. Occasionally, that's not really doable if it's at night, you're on the side of the road and you are getting towed. But most of the time, people that tow for general areas also know the dealerships and they will have a general sense of kind of what their wait times are. They tow to them rather often. A lot of them even have keys to the yard. So they're a lot more tied in than you would suspect.
And how do I make sure I don't get hosed by the tow company?
That is a challenge. That is a seedy business to begin with. So I would just be cautious. Google reviews are ironically very, very handy. I like to look at the 1 star so I can see what bad I may run into. But the higher Google review, generally, the better the outcome.
Can I demand an estimate before the tow and then maybe tell them, nope, we're not using you?
Some places will do that. If you are on the side of the road, generally they're going to be like, well, I want to take a look at how the unit is, right? If you blown a tire and you can't be towed cleanly, if you blew out a steer and you need a steer replaced ahead of time, before you can get towed, there's a lot of different pieces. If you're stuck in the mud, if you got into an accident, there's going to be different layers with this. Most of the time you cannot get a quote unless you are, complete truck, no real issues, and you're going from one place to the next place. You can get a distance quote. You generally can't get one when you're getting picked up outside.
Gotcha. So obviously, long distance and tows, this is why people keep asking about it because it can be really painful.
Yeah, and it can really spiral out of control because there's a few different factors, right? There's a safety piece. You want to worry about the person that's in the truck on the side of the road. And the good tow vendor might be 6-7 hours out. And this, seedier one can get you moved in 30 minutes. And these are the types of decisions that you have to navigate when you're working this that can lead to those pitfalls that you're talking
I'm not going to give a plug for you, but now I understand why you're so successful managing other people's problems.
Thank you very much. It's a lot of experience, and that's, I guess, what we can really say is the more that you handle these roadside events, the better you will get at them. The more caution you will hear about certain trigger words, diagnostics and certain other things, mandatory dispatch fees. There's a lot of things that you will become keen to the more you make these calls on your own. So I would try and take those on yourself, learn your lessons. If you're going to spend the money and have it be a large amount, it's best to kind of come away with that out of, some experience that can kind of protect you in the future the next time you have to handle a call yourself.
I mean, the double-edged sword is you want to have a lot of these to learn a lot, but you don't want to have any of these.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And that's generally why you want to kind of build up that experience over time. You don't want to learn all these lessons in 1 year. That'd be a rough year.
Tim, as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to teach us. You are awesome for doing that, and I'm looking forward to our next conversation.
Thank you very much, John.
We're going to provide your contact info on the video, so if folks want to, they can give a shout out to you and talk to you about this stuff in depth.
Yeah, absolutely. I like helping out everybody, and I just want people to have as much knowledge about the industry as possible.
You're awesome. Thank you, Tim. We'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye.